Welcome everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 10 of Joan of Arc, and it's our setup round for the Apocalypse expansion scenario called The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So here we are, we're flying over through the miniatures we've recently painted. You can see we've got the Four Horsemen are Conquest, War, Famine, and Death. We'll get these guys on the board. We'll set up the basics of the tiles, the miniatures, and all the different buildings for the game board, and we'll jump right into it. This is the actually part of the Apocalypse has a campaign mode. So the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, we finished playing the Sabbath, and we've also played the Child and Saint Michael and the Dragon. So looking forward to jumping into this. We'll fast forward through the board setup, and then we'll kind of read the scenario, read the win conditions, and go through the different factions for the holy and the unholy players. So looking forward to this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we've got the initial board set up for Season 10 for the Apocalypse scenario of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. We're going to read through the scenario book, go through our initial setup, and then jump right into turn one. Before we do, quick shout out to Pontos Fathom Press. We've got the 3-volume set of Disclosure from the Necronomicon fragment. Our recently published Alchemy of Azathoth is now available. You can check out our bookstore link below. And we've also got the Hermeticism of Hastur, Necromancy of Nyarlathotep. Check out the bookstore link. We've also got, for our Patreon members, some exclusive content there. If you're into digital books, you can go check that out on Patreon. And we also have some inside scene baseball, behind the scenes for Eldritch Horror that's coming up, painting schedules, and also our video play. And lastly, as always, guys, thanks a lot. We really appreciate you guys watching the channel. I know a lot of you are making it to the end of the videos. It helps with the algorithm. If you could like and subscribe, thank you very much, and as well as sharing and ringing the bell helps us with the algorithm. So let's jump right into Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse here. I'm going to read from this scenario. It says, "Then I saw the Lamb open one of the 7 seals, and I heard one of the 4 living creatures call out as with the voice of thunder, 'Come!' And I looked, and there was a white horse. Its rider had a bow, a crown was given to him, and he came out conquering and to conquer. When he opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living creature call out, 'Come!' And another horse came, bright red. Its rider was permitted to take peace from the earth, so that people would slaughter one another, and he was given a great sword. And when he opened the 3rd seal, I heard a 3rd living creature call out, 'Come!' I looked, and there was a black horse. Its rider held a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard what seemed to be a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, 'A quart of wheat for a day's pay, and 3 quarts of barley for a day's pay, but do not damage the olive oil and the wine.' And when he opened the 4th seal, I heard a voice of the 4th living creature call out, 'Come!' And I looked, and there was a pale green horse. Its rider's name was Death, and Hades followed with him. And they were given authority over the 4th of the earth. Kill with sword, famine, and pestilence, and try the wild animals of the earth." Revelation 6, 1-8. So in this scenario, the 4 horsemen of the Apocalypse are the opening act of the beginning of the end of the world. They appear when the Lamb, symbol of Jesus Christ's resurrection, opens the first 4 seals. Their deadly cavalcade only leaves corpses and desolation in its trail. Conquest, death, war, and famine reap souls with swords, sickness, starvation, and arrows. On the continent, nothing stops them. Cities, villages, everything is devastated. Hands covered, they want more. They ride north, looking for more souls and desolation. While celebrating St. Patrick's Day, the Irish see cavaliers covered with chrism foam rising from the sea and making their way towards them. So in this scenario, we've got the forces of evil, the forces of the unholy, and the forces of the holy. We've got 4 pentagram points on the map. Each of those have one of the 4 horsemen of the Apocalypse. We'll show you those guys now. So this one here is War. And you guys can go check out the painting video we've done for these. Here's our War mini. Got Famine. The Scales. We've got Conquest. The bow, the skull-faced horse, and the red snakes, red crown. And then finally, this is the coolest one, Death. It's like floating upside down horse. It's very Cthulhu-like with the mouth. Guys, go check out the painting video below if you want to go check that out. So also, we've got the units for the unholy player and for the holy player. So let's kind of give a quick review of those. That there. So like I mentioned, you've got Conquest, Death, Famine, and War. And then each of those have units loyal to them: mounted specters, plague bearers, mounted skeletons, and skeletons. So these are the mounted skeletons. Here's the plague bearers. Here's the skeletons, and we've got the mounted specters over on the side. So each of those get to spawn each turn on one of the pentagram sites, and then our holy player has a number of units as well. One of which is the executioner. You can see this mini here, the mini for the executioner with his portable scaffold there. So we can go through these two as well. You've got the foot knight, provincial militia, peasants, bowmen, merchant girl, sergeant at arms, penitents, flagellants, citizens, blacksmith, farmer, executioner, like I mentioned, doctor, the bone setter. The bone setter, we've got the bone setter right here. It's another cool mini. It's the bone setter. I just painted some minis, so my fingers are all blue. Sorry, guys. Soothsayer, apothecary, angel, and the priest. So those are the holy players. So let's go into a bit more of the scenario. And we can talk about the win conditions, and then we can jump right into turn one. So I'll grab this. We start out 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. It's a 7-round game with a 2, 4 3s, and 2 4s. We're using the legend deck for Mythic Legend deck, and there was a number of victory conditions. It says the unholy army can earn victory points through the following methods: destroy civilians, units from the holy army disrupted by the end of the 7th round. If the unholy army gains 20 victory points, they win the game. Okay, so all we have to do is stop the unholy from winning. But in this game, we have a number of special rules. There's the pentacle spaces. So when a unit from the unholy army is disrupted or destroyed, it's deployed in its starting pentacle area at the beginning of the next camp phase. The holy army gains XP for destroyed disrupted units. Only civilians can move into the church. Units cannot attack from inside the church, and civilians cannot be attacked while inside the church. So it's sort of sacred space. The shrine, units from the unholy army cannot enter the shrine area. Saint Patrick will be portrayed as the priest. So the priest would be Saint Patrick. Place him over here. Once per game, if 2 civilians perform the prayer action at the same time while inside the church, Saint Patrick is summoned. Place Saint Patrick, so he's off the board to start with, so leave him off the board. Once Saint Patrick is summoned, attacks cannot be declared in an area containing St. Patrick. If an area containing St. Patrick is attacked, all killed and disrupted units suffer. The defending units become push results. St. Patrick can be activated by the Holy Army. So then we have Angel. I've got to get some tiles up here for the Angel Sky section. So civilian performs the prayer action while inside the church. An angel can be summoned. In the cemetery, one of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse in the cemetery area, it can summon 1 skeleton into the same area. There's a number of civilians throughout the land, and there's intrigue cards also. So that's the main rundown. Let me go and get the mounted skeletons. I've got them on another board over here. I'll bring those over, and I'll get those 2 sky pieces. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the sky pieces. I will just put these both off to the side. Let's say here. Move this up, move these over. Have a sky piece and another sky piece like this. Just leave them sort of not attached. That'll be where our angels start from. And so what I'll do is I will put the horsemen off the board for now because they get summoned each round. We can spawn them each round. And I'll also move their minis off the board. I'll get the rest of the units set up for the civilians. I'll get the civilians army set up, and then we'll be ready to jump into round one. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. Really looking forward to this one. This is part of the Joan of Arc Apocalypse expansion campaign. So you can see we've already played through Saint Michael and the Dragon, the Child, and the Sabbath. Now we're going to do the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. We're jumping right into that, and then if you guys want to click through, go ahead and click through. We'll see you in round one. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.